a video on finding the percent of a number. So if you saw something like this, find 30% of 12. So the key word here is of. Remember, of means multiplication. So you have to do some translating here. So anytime you see a 30%, we always want to make it a decimal. You can never multiply with a percent sign, so you have to make that 30% a decimal. Or you can make it a fraction, whatever you want. So 30% is 0.30, or you can just use 0.3. It's the same thing. Remember, of means multiplication, so it's 0.3 times 12. So we translated it, now we just simply multiply. 0.3 times 12, so you can have 12 times 0.3. Okay, and if you do that, 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3, and there's one decimal place, 3.6. So 30% of 12 is 3.6. Okay, so 50% of 12, that's half, that means half. So half of 12, 50% of 12 is 6. So sometimes you have to look at it and see if it makes sense. So the key here is to learn how to translate. Turn the percent to a fraction or a decimal, whatever you prefer. So we put 30%, we made it 0.3. Remember, 0.3 is 0.30, it's the same thing. Of means multiply, and we multiplied, and we got 3.6. So try this one. What's 80% of 40? Try that. Okay, so again, we're going to translate. We're going to make the percent a decimal or a fraction. 80% is 0.8. Of means times 40, and 0.8 times 40 is 32. Now let's try it with a bar model. So when you have can't even say it. When you have a bar model, remember 100% means the total. So in this case, if we go back, let's go back here. The total is 40. So 100% means 40. That means you have everything. Everything is 40. So we only want 80% of that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to break down the 100% into 10 parts. Always break it down into 10 parts. So here's our bar model. And we have 10 parts. And of course, they make 100. So from here, all these 10 parts is 40. So we're trying to find one part. What is one part? If all of these are total 40, because that's 100%, what is this one part, this one box? It's 4. Right? 'Cause 40 divided by 10 is 4. So if every box is a 4, all the boxes are 4s, they total 40. So we're trying, and 80% will be 8 parts. So here's 80%. Let's just count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 4 is 32. So that's how we can do it with a bar model. See if you can do this. 16% of 9. See if you can do it by translating and doing the multiplication. And see if you can do it with a bar model. Okay, so again, of means times. Remember that. And remember, we can't have a percent sign. We have to make it a decimal. We can make it a fraction if you wish. So 0.16 times 9 is 144. Here's our 10 boxes. They all make 100%. And the total is 9. So everything from here, all these boxes have to total to 9. So it's the total divided by 10. It's not 10 divided by 9. It's 9 divided by 10. So one part is 0.9. Okay, and 0.9 times 10 is 9. So we have all our... Now, here's the thing. We want to get 16%. Each box is 10%, so we can't do 2 of them, because that's 20%. So we have to do one box, which we know is 0.9, but the next box, we can't do all of it. We have to break it down into tens again. Let's make it bigger. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we only want 6 of these boxes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They will be all shaded in. And that represents 16%. So we want 1 and then 6/10, which is 1.6. Okay, so it's 1 is 0.9. And what is 6/10 of the 9? Okay, so let's look at this box here. Remember, if you want to break down the second box, and it's 0.9. So you want to do 0.9 divided by 10 again. Make that division sign. Because you want to know what each box is worth. And you know you want 6 of them. So 0.9 times divided by 10 is 0.09. So each box is 0.09. You understand that? So it's 0.09. 0.09 10 times is 0.9. Right? So each box, 0.09, 0.09, 0.09, 0.09, 0.09, 0.09, and so forth. And we want 6 boxes that are 0.09. So 0.09 times 6 will give us 0.54. So let's look over here now. We had, in the first box, we had a 0.9. And the second box, we only want 0.54, because that's the 6 parts. So you add them together. 0.54 and 0.9 gives you 1.44. That's this answer. So that's what a bar model, but many students will find that much easier to do. But we did 2 bar models, so go over the video if you didn't understand that. And we'll go over that in class 2 again. Let's look at a word problem. Let's say 38% of the students wanted ice cream. Well, it should be more, right? Who doesn't want ice cream? Unless you're allergic. And there are 50 students in the class. So how do we do a problem like this? First of all, what does of mean? It means multiplication. So 38% times what? The students. Where are the students? Right there. There's 50 of them. So remember, we have to translate. 0.38, make the percent. 0.38 times 50, and we'll get 19. 19 of the students wanted ice cream. All right, let's do one more. Let's say I said there were 70 students, or 70 people, doesn't matter, and 25% of them are going to Chicago. Who knows? They're going somewhere. They're going to Chicago. Who's going to the Chicago? 25% of the 70. 25% of 70. So see if you can do that. What do we do with the 25%? 0.25. What do we do with the of? Times 70. So try that. Now if you multiply that, remember you can erase this. 70 times 0.25. And you're going to notice there's a problem here. Not with your math. Your math will be fine. Your math will be 17.5. That's fine. You did it right. But what's the problem? How can we have a decimal if we're talking about people? We can't say that half of a person went to Chicago. No. Be careful with that. Even though you'll get the right math, you have to ask yourself, if I gave you a quiz, you can say, well, the math is right. 17.5 is right. Missing the 1 there. 17.5 is right, but it doesn't make sense with the problem because you can't have a decimal of people. You can't break people down that way. Okay? Great job.